Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with another video. This time I want to talk about the Legends scale options for Arcee. What's out there? Well, we got Iron Factory and we have DX9, so we're going to look at these. We're going to compare these to all other Arcees that I have to show you, including Masterpiece and including some old favorites. Coming up. So here's the packaging with these, and this is DX9. This is from 2016, and it is a 2-pack. It comes with a cup, and so the back has some great artwork. Looks beautiful. Shows off all of what was going on with DX9 back in 2016, 4 years ago, when they launched the whole third-party scene with this Legends scale. And I wonder what year this one came. I don't even know if it shows, but I think the Iron Factory's not as old, so there we go. So just looking at the DX9 versus the Iron Factory version, you're gonna see that the DX9 looks more G1-esque, and I do want to admit, when I first heard about this, I think I heard about it in 15 or something, that it was coming out. I actually thought it was a Masterpiece scaled, and then when I found out it was Legends, I was a little sad because of the fact that I think it looks pretty good, but this would have been the first Arcee in the MP scale if it was MP scale, but instead it was Legends. So we got the Legends Arcee before we got an MP Arcee. It's kind of funny. And then here we are with Iron Factory. Now Iron Factory, let's look at each one of these. There is more paint on the Iron Factory, and you can see that all over. It looks kind of busy the way it's going, and all of the weapons can store. Maybe there's a weapon storage for the DX9, but I don't know it. Underneath, I just think that the DX9 looks so much more G1 though. And so there's pluses and minuses to each of these. It's very minimalistic on paint, but very G1-esque looking. And then this one here is, well, painted really well, but very, very, very stylized. And so just looking at this one right here, let's get a closer look. That definitely fits the bill. It's what we are looking for. It's what we want to see out of this character. Now, one of these doesn't tab in right here, that peg is way too big for her hole, so I don't want to shove that big peg in there and mess up anything, so I'm not going to do that. It's just not going to fit. Anyway, I don't want to break it. Anyway, it does kind of, this is pegged in and tabbed in, so that one's not, so it looks a little lopsided to me. I do like the fin in the back, and of course, unlike say Toy World, the Masterpiece Toy World, this really is the same thing. It's just not really finished in the back, but at least they did something. It looks a little bit more finished, more like something's going on with it. So that does look good. Here with the Iron Factory, and a little bit closer, the paint on this, and I'm gonna show you real quick. The box shows blue windshield. The paint is silver, which I think is kind of crazy. I know a lot of people are really after the Iron Factory version because she does look kind of cool and stylistic and different. So I think that's kind of why people are after it so much, but it is pretty cool. Yeah, I kind of dig it a bit. There's the back, and you can see just the way that the paint knees just kind of look like rear engines, sort of like this does in a way. Really kind of cool. Some paint here. We're gonna see more and more paint apps when we get them transformed, and let's go ahead and look at some comparisons. So here, this is compared to the DX9. That's the DX9 version of Blur. It's called Speedo, and that one's pretty cool. This is just kind of how they measure up, and Iron Factory is so much smaller. Just the route they decided to take, I guess. And then let's go ahead and compare to a few others, so we can get the size-wise and scale in here. There's an Iron Factory Racing Bro. Here's Iron Trans, and here is official Hasbro Sea Spray. Okay, so Iron Factory's pretty big compared to them. Pretty big compared to them. Of course, she's the smallest of them, and this is just really a huge figure. I like it though. And then of course the better angle of Speedo. Let's get this one transformed up. So we're gonna do Iron Factory first. First thing you're gonna do is disconnect these right here, and it's interesting because the gun has holes on each side and it kind of holds the feet in. So not only does it have weapon storage, but it has weapon storage that's integrated into the transformation. So once you take all that off, you've got her halfway transformed. Fold her legs up. You can see where this is all going. Disconnect. This is actually a tight fit right here. Disconnect this. Disconnect this. Yes, that's an injury from fixing my fence. I'm injured. Fold these wings back. And then there's a whole little apparatus here. Fold it down. Turn her head. And, you know, Iron Factory isn't really complex, which I kind of like. That's a good thing, I guess, you could say. Definitely could say that. She holds her swords and her gun. So let's look at her with her swords. There they are. And there she is. We're going to move her to the side and then get a transformation on the next one. There's DX9's. DX9's transformation is a bit different. We're going to see how the feet are in there. That's just, it has to be in there specifically like that to make everything fit. Disconnecting, of course, this tab's tight too, just like in the same spot. Well, it was the arm tab. This is the leg tab, but still, like, it was the exact same spot. So these fold down to create the waist. And there's this. Let's see here, let's get that foot and the knee. Get all the legs straight. You know I like to do the legs first. And then we're gonna fold down the arms. Going this direction than it did going the other direction. I don't know why it feels so tight. That's kind of strange. So let's move this spoiler to the side, and then we're going to pull her head around, all the way around. And then this chest piece is going to come over. That's flush. I just don't want to break anything. It doesn't feel like it's going to break, but I just know that if it's not going easy, that's your way to break something. If you're having to feel like you're stressing it or something, you're probably going to break it. There it goes. Tab this in. So there are some tabs right here to tab it in. So it actually is a bit more of a complex transformation than Iron Factory's, but in the end it looks okay. Let's go ahead and get her gun in there. Now her gun is pink, not clear blue. And let's see, would she hold one of those swords? Are they about the same size? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, she can hold the Iron Factory sword too. So DX9's version actually comes with a stand. It says DX9 on it. And you just plug her heels into those slots right there. Maybe you can see it better from the back. And she stands. So that's cool. That'll work. So here they both are back from transformation. And we're going to have a look at both of these and look at them pretty close to detail here, starting with Iron Factory. And of course you have the head side to side, and look at that. That looks like, that looks like Maz Kanata. Maz Kanata from the Star Wars. Okay, so the arm, you can't go out to the 90. You cannot go 90 with the arm, the way the shoulder's set up. But it does, of course, spin all the way around as far as you want it to go. And then you got the ball joint at the elbow. The hands do not move. So I turned them a little bit. Try to turn a little bit, and I think they're just painted on. I'm not going to try anymore. No waist swivel. You do have hip movement. You got the 90. You have, it actually has a thigh swivel, which that's pretty impressive. And then super awesome knee because it's part of the transformation. And then you have everything you need in your, with a ball joint at the foot. Now getting these guys to stand is a little bit of a challenge. It's a little bit tricky to get them to stand, so let's get her standing. There it goes. Hand, why don't you get them standing? They look pretty good. Next up, we have DX9. Nice little bit of paint on the face. And a little slot etched out to put a super microscopic symbol on her. She's looking super G1. Going on down, let's shoulder, that you can get the 90 out of it. Pretty easy. You have elbow, and it's interesting. You have the sort of an elbow swivel and the elbow to the 90. It's not double jointed. And then no waist swivel in this one either. And then leg goes out, forward. And the knee, wow, that knee joint is restrictive. That's a terrible knee joint. And it looks like it has a thigh swivel, but it's not swiveling. So, poseability on this is going to be a little bit worse than, it just looks like it, does not look like it have a thigh swivel in it. Right there, but it's not swiveling. No, it doesn't have a thigh swivel. And the knees are very, very, very restrictive. And you have ball jointed feet. Wow. So Iron Factory definitely destroys this when it comes to poseability. Huh. And then getting her to stand. Of course, you know, it's Arcee with high heels transformer. Getting her to stand, it's a little bit of work. Now let's go ahead and bring in Speedo. And of course, Speedo is going to scale better with the DX9 version. But if you look, Arcee is just a little taller than him. Like, he hasn't hit his growth spurt yet. So I guess girls hit the growth spurt first, huh? And of course, this was not going to hit a growth spurt. So now let's go ahead and compare to some cups. Here's a cup. Now that's what comes with her. As you can see, now this is the McFans Toys KO Oversize, which I think works best. I think that looks better. I think this relationship is better. And then looking at this, I think this relationship is, come on dude, stand up. This relationship, the Iron Factory and the DX9 cup look good together. The McFans Toys KO Oversize and her look better. I don't know, what do you think? So this part of the comparison is not for size, it's for style. This one is the Hasbro 30th anniversary. This one is the iGear version. And so the difference between them is stylized wise. I think that Hasbro overall looks the best in this. And then looking over here, she looks pretty good. I don't think she was bad, but this is super stylized. So if you're comparing to the G1 model, obviously none of these are going to work. I mean, well, that's not going to work for G1, and the rest of these are just close, but not all the way there. So let's make some room to put the rest of these in so we can kind of see stylistically how all of this is going to work and which one you like the most. And well, of course, it's just fun. And then which one for Earthrise? You know, what's Earthrise going to look like? Which one of these will be matching Earthrise the most? I'm really curious about that. So, I mean, of course, we won't know, and there's no way to know. So, Fans Toys, Toy World, iGear, Hasbro, Iron Factory, and DX9, and there they are. Man, that's awesome. We also have the Nicey coming in. Is it called Firebird? I don't even know what company makes it. I just know it's called Nicey. And she's another stylized version, which probably look closer to matching Iron Factory. So, yeah, which one of these do you think looks the best? I actually still, out of all of these, like, for a masterpiece version, I do like Toy World the best, even more than the Zeta's recolor, because I just think she looks more like the character. She is what I think of when I think Arcee. That's closer. As for the alt mode is non-existent with her, so, I mean, there's no perfect Arcee yet. Okay, so this has been my comparison of the two versions of Arcee that you can get with Legend Scale. You can get the Iron Factory. Iron Factory, you can get it on eBay still. There's a few of them up there for like $65, so the price is going through the roof. When those sell out, who knows what they're gonna cost. And then you can still get her online for like $30. So I'll try to put a link below if it's still there from where I got mine from. Like, subscribe, and of course, how do you hear it?